first question, I want to ask you, like, tell me your beginnings in music. Like, how did you first fall in love with music, singing, and turning it into an actual career?
I mean, I feel like I just kind of came out of the womb singing. It's something that I feel like has always been like a part of me. I don't know, like no one really had to like ask me like, what do you want to be, or like, what do you want to do? It was just something that like I always was doing. So I don't know. I feel like doing anything else would be a waste of time, because it's just not something that like I live and breathe, like music. I've been singing since a young age. I used to write like a lot of music whenever I was younger. Like my family would always push me, you know, like we didn't grow up with like a whole lot of money, but they would always encourage me to just be writing songs or get involved like in any local school, you know, whatever talent shows, choir, chorus, whatever was available. Obviously like inner city school, so it wasn't like funded the best, so we didn't have a whole lot of art programs. So like I actually petitioned to get like a talent show done and like a Black History Month talent show kind of thing. And I mean, I was like 11. So doing all of that, like I've just always kind of grinded for like what I wanted, and music always seems to be like the root of that hustle. And then so much is like now, I've been performing since I was young, like I said, but never like my own music, even though I was writing my own music and I was taking like dance lessons and like music lessons and vocal training. It was more so just kind of like performing other music, but like for events, for weddings, or just kind of like out in the mall. I auditioned for like The Voice and like American Idol, and I made it like pretty far in the rounds, like, but it just wasn't like the move. Like it just wasn't right for me. It wasn't clicking. And whenever I moved out to New York, I moved myself out there. I had like $500 in my pocket, and I'm like, you know, screw it. Like I heard like if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere, and I'm gonna work on my music out there. I didn't know anybody, so I just kind of started asking around, started networking on my own, you know, without even really like knowing what networking like entails. And I found like a producer, and then through a producer I found like Kid Super Studios, and I was out there just like out in Brooklyn like recording myself and recording with like the Kid Super people. And that's where Russ was recording, and I didn't know who Russ was at the time, and they introduced me to his music. And through Russ's page I found Edgar, who was the manager, the guy you just met, and he actually shot all of Russ's videos. He owns Blank Square Productions. And I reached out to everybody, and they kind of hit me back like, oh yeah, like if you're ever in LA, like let's network, let's link up. So I met Edgar out in LA, and he's like, do you have any music out? Because he wanted to originally book me as a model for a music video for someone he was shooting, but he didn't have like the money in the budget to fly me out. So I flew myself out after the video to link with him. And yeah, it's just kind of been a wrap ever since. He's just like, you don't have any music? I said, no. And he's like, okay, well, he put on a beat. He's like, sing for me. So I sang. He's like, yo, you're incredible. I'm going to come back for you in 3 months after I'm done with the Rust tour. Yeah, he did. And he flew me out to meet Jordan Hollywood, who is signed to QC. He's also my manager. Out in Broward County, we have the Wasted Youth Studios. And that's kind of where like I learned how to record a song industry wise, you know, like it's got the hook, the AAB, A songs or whatever. And we made like my first couple songs, and by the time we released the second one just on Instagram, you know, and SoundCloud, like we had no push. This is First Woman is the first song I've ever had a push for. Labels started calling, and they wanted to sign me, and they wanted to turn me into a superstar, you know, the superstar that I am, but I just wasn't right. It wasn't the right time, you know, in my creative process to be doing that, considering I just started so early. I didn't even know how to like work a studio, but eventually the right time came, and we decided to do a JV with Warner after turning down QC and Interscope. Yeah, so very long story, but
but it's a very, very inspiring story. So when it comes to music, like who are your inspirations?
I always like to name like different artists that I feel like are my inspirations, but people think I'm so like off the wall and all over the place because my music interests are so versatile. I literally listen to music from like the 20s. I listen to like doo-wop and bebop and swing and jazz. I love like my Ella Fitzgerald and my Etta James. But really it's just like, it's anything that inspires me in the moment. And really I feel like mainly my inspiration, not to sound like narcissistic, but my inspiration comes from me. It'll be from a movie or a color or my family. My mom is a big inspiration. So it's just whatever moves me in the moment is what inspires me to continue to make music. And also it's like an itch I can't scratch. Like if I don't sing, if I don't make music, like I'm gonna lose my mind.
So it's also like a coping strategy for you or something?
Oh, 100%. Like, you know, I'm like rewatching the TV show Glee, and it's so funny because everyone's like, oh, this is so annoying. And I'm like, this is how I feel. Like they're sad. They're like, let me sing about it. You know, they're happy. They're like, let me sing about it. It's just, It's what I do. Like, honestly, if I couldn't sing, like, I don't think I would be as human as I am. It's just something like I have to do to like express myself. Like, there's no me without music for sure.
So I know you're a model, and you did that before you started singing, or?
Yeah, it's so crazy. Like, people always like hit me up. They're like, yo, like, you model, like, you're a model. And I'm like, I'm a model? Like, it's news to me every time. Like, because I've never been like signed to like an industry. I've never had like an agent, you know, like I've never like had to do runway. I haven't been through like the vigorous training that like most like models have. It's more so like it started off as someone hit me up over Instagram like a few years ago whenever I was in college out in Florida. And I guess they were doing like a design project. We were going to the same school and they had to take photos of someone like with their designs on. So they asked me if I would do it. And I guess like from that photo, another photographer found me somehow because I didn't really have any followers. And it just kind of like spiraled off that way. And like I realized like I could use modeling as a means to get in to different rooms and to network so I can further myself in the industry. And also it can't hurt because I definitely want to take my career in the path of high fashion. I want to be able to incorporate multi mediums, you know? So yeah, I don't know. The modeling has helped though. Definitely helps with the videos and the visuals and my photo shoots. So yeah.
Okay. So I know that you released your hit single Because of Me back in 2018, which allowed your career to take off. But then you were discovered like years ago. Like,
yeah.
explain the gap in that.
I think the first A&R meeting, and it's so crazy because I look back on it, it's like I didn't even know what an A&R meeting was until like after I had my my past A&R meetings, the ones right before I signed to Warner, that it was an A&R meeting. I met with Jarrell Carter at Def Jam whenever I was 15, I believe. I went out to New York and met with him, and he just wanted to know what everything was about. I didn't have any music, and it obviously just wasn't like the right time in my career at all. I wasn't very aware of what was going on. I was just kind of still like very young and just excited to be singing. After I met with Edgar and Jordan and I released these songs, like we didn't know if it was going to do anything. Honestly, we were still just kind of feeling out the vibes because like I only work with people that like can see my vision and that like truly understand it, because otherwise like being a young you know, ethnically ambiguous artist in this industry, like it's very easy to just get run over and for your dreams to kind of fall to the background. And I definitely feel like I've put in way too much time and effort for that to happen to me. So I wanted to play it very smart, even though like I didn't understand the industry as much. We dropped a couple songs and I feel like they were very reflective of just like who I was at the time. And because it was one of them. And after that, whenever the label started calling, we were like, oh, like we do not have time. Like we don't have time for me to like sit here and discover my sound as an artist. And like unfortunately, like I just didn't have that luxury, because whenever opportunity comes knocking, like I can't be like, okay, chill, you know, I'll come back in like 5 years whenever I feel like the most comfortable. I just felt like it was a good time to be uncomfortable but like aware. So I took a hiatus from dropping music for about a year. So Because of Me dropped I think like maybe that baby is like 2 years old now. But after I dropped like my first batch of songs with Because of Me, I took a year break and really just like worked on my artistry. I worked with bigger producers. I worked on recording myself. I worked in bigger studios, and I just kind of started a catalog. So now I have like a bunch of music, and the growth is like phenomenal. Yeah, but those songs, once a couple of those songs came out, honestly, like I was already signing, because although no one else, the public didn't get to hear the music, the labels were, and my industry friends were hearing them, and they were like, wow, like you got something here. So
wow, you definitely work hard. I definitely give you props for that. Amazing. So when you're not recording music and you're tuning into your work, like what kind of person are you? Like what do you like to do outside of the music?
I love to complain. I love to complain. Like my favorite hobbies. And it's so crazy because honestly, like I'm an introvert, extrovert. My personalities are so all over the place. Like it's wild. Like I feel like I'm like just a couple separate people. Like I've such hot and cold like tendencies. I mean, I love watching movies. I'm a big movie fanatic. I've seen thousands and thousands of films, and being an actress is something I'm also going to start dipping my toes into. You know, I've acted whenever I was younger, so I'd like to do that. obviously like musical theater. Like I don't have time anymore, but like I still like to sing. I sing a lot of like show tunes and stuff like that. I like to practice like my acting reels. I paint, I draw. I'm hand making voodoo dolls right now for Halloween. You know, like I design clothes. So pretty much everything artsy, like I'm into it. So I dedicate my entire living to art. I'm an animal person, and really like I'm a big family girl. Like right now, like I'm with my family out in Colorado. So that's why I'm not like all like superstar mode right now, because I'm just kind of like kicking it. And this is really like what grounds me. Yeah, I don't know. Like so much is like the complaining thing though. Like I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful, but my personality is so sassy all the time. And like right now with my family, so like they missed it, but they like to complain about it. You know, they're just like, oh my God, so annoying. But my mom definitely just cut off the crust to my sandwich yesterday. So like she loves it. 24. She brought me like a cut up sandwich. I was like, oh dang, like I'm bougie, I'm royalty here. So I guess spending time with my family. I love writing. I've started writing a couple like books, short stories. Yeah, I spend my time mostly with me, which is crazy. I'm not like a big, I'm a social person whenever I want to be, you know, like to be, I definitely like, you know, turn on the charm and I'm out like social butterfly. But honestly, I just prefer to be in the company of myself. It's just like grounding, I guess.
Wow, you definitely keep yourself busy. I mean, do you ever have downtime?
The downtime that I have, I'm not good with downtime. I freak out, like, oh, I'm not doing anything. So like I fill my time with arts, you know, because bettering myself, I like to learn different languages and whatnot too. So, and eventually, once all this COVID stuff is done, I'll be spending my free time, what little free time I have, I'll spend it traveling. So,
Yes,
but that,
yes. Next question. How does it feel to go from your first single, Because of Me, to Swimming, which was your first release under Warner Music Group? So how did that feel?
honestly, it was surreal. It's just like it's something that I've always dreamed of ever since I was little. But it's not even like I don't know, like dream. Like, or it's something that like I'm like I know it's gonna happen. I'm so overly confident in just like my career and my future and my path. So it's wild because of me we shot with no money, we had no direction. Honestly, we just went out to the desert to shoot another music video for a different artist, and I was tagging along. And Edgar's like, we're going to shoot this. I'm going to speed up the song right now. And we're just going to do it in slow mo. And so doing that, and the first time seeing it, I was like, wow, you know, like I'm a real artist. Like I can see it now. Like, and even though like I knew it, like it's something different to like see myself like behind the camera, or not behind the camera, but in front of the camera and with my own music. It was wild. So going from that to swimming, where I've got like makeup artists and I've got hairstylists and I've got PAs carrying me to the next scene because I can't walk in the heels. It was wild. It was kind of like almost the same moment, but just on like a larger scale. I was like, wow, like I'm a real artist. Like I'm doing this. I just keep like astounding myself, and the people around me like astound me. I've got a great team, and I don't know, just like the growth in such short period of time is incredible. It's humbling as well to see like I don't come from like a lot of money, and I feel a lot of my industry friends like, and like you get it how you get it, you know, like you play with the hand that you're dealt, and like they've been blessed enough to have family in the industry, or maybe like more help, or signed to like a bigger artist who can help put them on, or they've been doing it, you know, for years and years, and you know, like they've got skin in the game, they've been working hard. And for me to start like 2 years ago and already be in a place where like, you know, I'm competing, a friendly competition, you know, like I'm just being held up to the standards of some of these like top artists. It's wild. So
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Amazing. So speaking of your single Swimming, where did you get the creative idea for the music video? Like first you were a tarot reader, you were in a jail cell, then you were a princess on a lake, a nurse, a clown. Like where did all these characters come from?
So all of these characters are Ivy. Like that's who I am. I feel like Ivy is, I mean, my mom calls me Ivy. She named me Ivy. My name comes from like a couple different characters she likes in movies, but she always loved the name. But I took from Ivy personally is 4. It's the Roman numeral. It's my lucky number. It's the number of wholeness and completion. You know, I feel like it's just, I see a lot of 4s around me whenever my luck is about to change for the better. And also I feel like I have 4 different, very prominent sides to my personality. Like that's just a little like fun thing I say to myself. But so I don't know, with the acting and how just like hot and cold my personality is, I'm just like, I need to let the world know that this is me. Like I can be like so many different versions of myself, because as a new artist, I wanted my first music video to just not give me like one small thing, not to just put me in a box. I wanted people to see that like I can act, like I can be different characters of myself, like there are evolutions of me coming, you know, just like I'm not just right now, I'm going to have, you know, skin in the game for a long time. I have longevity. So I don't know, like the tarot cards, like I do read tarot cards and I read palms and crystal balls. So I do a lot of fun like gypsy stuff. So I'm just like, that has to be in there. The jail cell, I went through a bad teen phase, you know, like growing up in like St. Louis, Missouri. It's pretty hood there. So, you know, that was also a side of me. But, you know, you live and you learn. I'm not getting
Yes.
And I don't know, like the clown scene, like I absolutely love that. I feel like I'm an entertainer, you know, I feel like we're all like kind of like clowns every now and then, you know, but like it had to be like edgy and like sexy, because I feel like that's who I am. And that's why I thought Trippie was just like the perfect feature for the song.
I was gonna ask, like, what made you specifically get him on the song?
Yeah, well, the two features, the ones that we had for the song that I was choosing between is I had DaBaby and I had Trippie Redd. Both of their verses were amazing, but I had to pick one. And really for the song, as a brand new artist, the one that I felt needed to be wasn't like the most like clout chasing one, even though they're both like very like popular artists. It needed to be like, was going to make the song bigger. It wasn't a name, it was just like the feel of it. And Trippie's verse and like who he is as a person and his look, it just matched the entire vibe of what I was going for. So I don't know, I couldn't have asked for a better feature. And honestly, like the visual that I had planned, because I wrote the treatment originally, I like to direct, or at least creative direct my music video. I like to have hands in on everything. He loved it. He absolutely loved it. Like there were no complaints, and he's like adding ideas too. And I was like, oh yeah, like it was A1. It was perfect. Yeah, and the boat scene, like I think that one originally, like I didn't come up with the boat scene idea. Because I'm Creole, so you know, New Orleans, St. Louis, like French, like Black, you know, it's just like who I am. And obviously like I do like the tarot card and the spooky voodoo like stuff. So my manager came up with an idea. He's like, yo, why don't we put you in a bayou, and it'll be really pretty, the sun will be shining on you, you'll have like this little parasol, it'll be adorable. And I was like, I mean, that's cute and all, but we're gonna put dead bodies in the water, we're gonna put zombies in the water, you know, it's gotta be weird, and it's gotta be like eye-catching and funny, because that's just like what my personality is. So the whole music video, I felt like just resembled like what's to come, you know.
Okay, so speaking of all of these, you and your personality and you putting it through your music, like how would you personally describe your music?
I would describe it as alternative contemporary. So I mean, I love the word contemporary, because whenever I say it, I feel like a lot of people think contemporary is like old school, like Beethoven and Mozart and just and like all these like artists, but contemporary is really just of the time. And like I feel like that's all I can really give people, and that's all I can really be is you know, who I am right now, because like I'm growing just as my music will grow and just as time does. So I'm going to keep changing and keep you know, transcending who I am now into the next form of IV. So my music right now is contemporary. I feel like it will always be contemporary. It will always be like who I am, but it's alternative because I always like to do weird stuff. I do spoken word poetry. I'll scat or like beatbox, you know, I do some weird stuff. Yeah, I do some weird things. But all that music's gonna come out and people are gonna see like there's so much more to me than just you know, the stuff that I have out now, which is amazing, but I'm super excited to get out all my new music.
Yes, I'm truly excited for you. Just talking to you, I'm just like, wow, this is you are amazing, truly. And
thank you, I appreciate it. Making my head way bigger than what it already is.
So my last few questions, like how, because you know we're about to come up on this 2020 presidential election, how are you feeling about this whole election?
You know what, honestly, like if you would have asked me like right whenever this COVID stuff happened, I was pretty like, you know, we're doomed, you know, like the rest of the world, we were all pretty like worried. But after going and you know, I did all of the marches and the walks, and we organized protests, and and fundraisers and all of that. It's been like inspiring to see people come together. And I had never voted before, so this year I voted. Last year, or not last year, but the last election, I did not, and I felt like I could share that, like the ideology of like why I didn't want to with so many of my peers around the same age. It was like our first election, that we were able to do because we came of age, and it just wasn't enough for us. So we took a stand, and then this year, once again, we're taking a stand, and it's just hopeful, to see more of like my age bracket, like younger people also, even older people who aren't even like really into politics, everyone getting out and just like fighting for something and us coming together. So I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful for the next upcoming few years, with my career, with the political elections, with life in general. I feel like we're heading towards a really great place. Like this movement is long time coming, obviously it's been happening for a while, but right now it's really broadcasted, and I'm super excited for everyone to just like be together, because that's how we get shit done.
So my last question to you, in honor of Thanksgiving coming up, what are you most thankful for?
I am thankful that I have somewhat of an ass, because I have what I have, so it could have turned out either way. But no, really, I'm thankful that I have so many beautiful people around me, and that I'm able to wake up every single day healthy and happy, and able to do what I love, and getting to talk to beautiful people like you, like, and express why I love doing what I do, and also meeting other like entertainers and people who love doing what they're doing. It's a whole world that I feel like wasn't available to me, obviously, like growing up where I did, and just seeing like where hard work and dedication and great like team effort can get you. It's inspiring. So I have a lot to be thankful for in general, especially like in these upcoming years. Yeah.